Bonjour, hola, and hello. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Tiki Taka. I'm Joseph.
Travis?
Today, it's just going to be a game week recap. We're going to be going over the Champions League, some notable games outside of the Premier League, but more importantly, we're going to be talking about the Premier League. So here's a little bit of what you can expect for us to talk about today. Set Piece FC strikes again, dude.
If this Arsenal team were to compete when Liverpool and City were at their peaks, they would get crushed.
Enjoy while you can, guys. This is the first and only time Declan Rice is going to lift a trophy in his career.
If they don't win this title, bottle jobs.
Arsenal fans, please, how do you support and enjoy this brand of football?
This isn't even better than the Invincible teams.
In what universe is Bukayo Saka better than Gareth Bale?
I wouldn't even classify him as world class.
Sorry, Arsenal fans, Saka's probably never going to win a Ballon d'Or. Hate to break it to you.
They seem to be the most delusional fan base.
If City doesn't qualify, then Pep is for sure gone. The Szoboszlai goal, under the wall. Bellissimo. Winning that Champions League as early as he did in his career was the worst thing to happen to Vinicius. How do you fire your coach and then literally all of Europe wants him immediately? Losing to PSV, unacceptable. Losing to Forest, unacceptable. Losing to Bournemouth, unacceptable.
Looking back, was it a mistake to give Mo Salah and Van Dijk a new contract?
Without further ado, start Champions League. Start with the Tuesday games. Travis, did you watch any Champions League this week?
The main one that I watched was the Madrid game, and to say that was a game is probably a folly.
That's being very kind to Monaco.
They battered them. Real Madrid, Monaco, for those that didn't watch, 6-1. Vini had a great game. I think he had, several assists in that game. I think at least 3. So he was on fire. Mbappe obviously putting balls in the back of the net. Complete dominant performance.
Do you see Mbappe scored a penalty right in front of Brahim Diaz? That was very cool. I thought that was the coolest thing he did of all time.
Over the weekend, right? I didn't know how Brahim Diaz would process that, to be honest. I wasn't sure if that was kind of like a slap in the face or is that like really how he put it in his tweet, right? Like, I'm doing it for Brahim, trying to lift his spirits. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, he just had the worst week of his life. He did not need to see that, bro. No, it's doing it for nobody.
Well, at least he gets to come back to a good club team.
Yeah, 100%. Me, on Tuesday, I watched the Inter-Arsenal game. It's really awesome that Inter's the boogeyman of Serie A because they just didn't even have a sniff in this game. It was just Arsenal, the entire way, 3-1. Gabriel Jesus brace with the Yorkis goal. Now, I thought Inter equalized maybe 5 minutes after Arsenal got the first with Jesus. Okay, this game's on, then Set Piece FC strikes again with a corner. Inter had no shot. They were done with that game. I think Yorkis scored in almost the 90th minute, 90 plus 3. It was the last kick of the game. So it's really frustrating that Inter's the best team in Serie A, and they just got worked by Arsenal. I mean, Napoli drew to Copenhagen. Like, how is this a top 5 league still? I don't get it.
Well, I think we all expected Inter to have a down year. Over the last 3 to 5 years, they've had a good run in the Champions League and have been doing well domestically in Serie A. With Inzaghi leaving, I thought they were going to do worse in Serie A than what they are. They currently sit, as time of recording, on top of the table, and they just extended their lead. So, did I think they were going to do great in the Champions League? No. And to be fair, they did play Arsenal, who is arguably top 3 in the world at the moment. Based on where they sit on the league table, they're sitting on top of the Champions League table. They're solid defensively. They don't have much going forward other than set pieces. I'll agree with you on that, Set Piece FC. But it's one of those things where over the last few years where nobody's been able to take down Inter, they just squeeze out wins 1-0, 2-1. That's basically Arsenal this year.
Yeah.
Boring to watch, but nobody can beat them, and it's annoying as hell. But they sit on top of their domestic and Champions League, so it's hard to argue that they aren't technically number 1 in the world right now.
And I would say they were at the time probably the most informed team. If you're looking at how 2026 has started for Arsenal, they look like the Arsenal we all know and love.
I don't know about love.
It's not the Arsenal I love. The Arsenal I know and love is the perpetually 4th place Arsenal. But perpetually 2nd place seems to be good right now. They're throwing away this league, man. They were, 8 points clear at Christmas. Now they have a 4-point lead. And they still have to go to the Etihad and play City. It's like, they're good, man. Don't get me wrong. I feel like, I harp on Arsenal a lot. Their defense is really great. I like Timber. I'm a big fan. I'm big on Timber. Like Saliba. Ben White can go kick sand. Moreno's great. Saka is overrated, but he's still a very, very good player. They have all the pieces. Again, Arteta is just hell bent on being Thomas Porter in in 2020.
You know how much
It's
stick you're going to
cool,
get for
dude.
saying Saka is overrated, huh? But I agree with you. I do think he's overrated. I think people put him in the
He's
class
great.
of Mo
Yeah,
Salah and okay, I guess we'll go on Arsenal for a little bit. And this isn't apply to all fans, but the ones that happen to get on the internet and get on the YouTube shorts and the
it's
Instagram reels and the
always
TikToks,
Arsenal fans. It's always them.
they seem to be the most delusional fan base. Definitely this year. And I'm not saying that other fan bases aren't delusional.
You sent me
Every
that clip of
which one?
dude. I know exactly. You sent me that clip, and it was okay. Would Saka start for these legendary teams? And brother, the first one was the three-peat Madrid, and they said he takes Gareth Bale's spot. In what universe is Bukayo Saka better than Gareth Bale? I'm saying flat out, he's not better than Gareth Bale. Prime Gareth Bale, Spurs Gareth Bale. He is not better than Gareth Bale. What?
Not in this universe. Maybe there's a multiverse out there that exists where he's better, but not in anything I've seen. Obviously, it
Like,
comes down to winning something, but also just the productivity. I'm not saying he's a bad player, again, before everybody hates on us, but people were putting him against Mo Salah and saying he was way better than Salah. I'm like, has anybody watched the Prem over the last 5 years? There's no way that Saka is better than Salah. He hasn't hit that peak. I wouldn't even classify him as world class yet. I would say he's a great player, but world class means you got to do it on a consistent level and against the biggest teams and winning, banging in trophies. And it's not it.
I think my biggest gripe with Saka is that he seems to pick and choose when he wants to show up now. He had a pretty nasty hamstring injury, which I get it. You're 24, dude. You still need your body can take it. Just go out and play. You can't just show up against City and then not show up against Spurs. Well, I'm going to show up against Chelsea and not show up against Liverpool. You can't show up against Inter Milan and then just go completely ghost against United. He's not world class. He seems like he's still a little boy. He's just a little kid. He's not a man yet. He's not strong. He gets bullied off of these balls. And if you're kind of a physical defender, you just put your body into him. He's scared. He doesn't want to get hurt again. He'll just keep passing that ball back and recycle it. He's not world class. Like he's not that guy. I hate to break it to you Arsenal fans. He's not that guy.
The recycling thing might be down to Arteta. So I'm not going to harp too much on that. That might just be their play style. I don't think Arteta encourages them enough to take on players one-on-one. But at the same time, you might be right, because look at Madueke. Every time he gets the ball, that guy is charging. And honestly, I would probably play him over Saka. He doesn't have a lot of goals and assists. His productivity in the end may not be great, but he's dangerous. And I would hate to defend him if I was going up against him. Yeah, I would agree that Saka isn't at world class at the moment. I do think also he might be scared of injuries. He's had bad injuries that, if you ask Arsenal fans, that have cost them the title over the last couple of years. So maybe he's just trying to preserve himself. Who knows what the strategy is, but regardless, it's just he's not on it this year.
I would say probably this Inter Arsenal game is the most boring game I watched all week, which sounds about right if you're watching an Arsenal game and an Inter Milan game. Watching those two teams play against each other was just terrorism. It was a crime against humanity to have to watch 90 minutes of that football.
Well, I get why you watched it. Two big clubs, but when you told me you were watching it, I was like, oh, that's going to be a boring ass game. Unlike the one I watched, it was entertaining.
I should have watched the Sporting game.
Dude, yes, that was a shock, huh? 2-1 Sporting over PSG.
Gosh, dude. PSG started finding their legs around this time last season, but this is a completely different PSG side from what we saw last year, right? Or am I just completely off base with that?
I think you're right. They're not even top of Liga right now. Something's going on over there. Obviously, Hakimi was out for a while. He's back now, but he was out for a while with the injury, and they just haven't had the same firepower. I think Dembele, too, was injured in the beginning of the season, and they just haven't kicked on. Maybe those players are just waiting to get back or into rhythm, but it's taken quite some time. I do think they're saving their legs until the knockout stages, then they'll turn it on, but I don't think they'll do back-to-back Champions League this year.
Yeah, I don't think that defense is strong enough to do it. Getting rid of Donnarumma this summer was just the strangest move to me. I still can't wrap my head around. I'm not Luis Enrique. I don't know what I'm talking.
I guess we're all on that boat. Another good result, some people would say it's shocking based on how their Premier League form is Spurs over Dortmund, 2-0 win. Granted, Dortmund had the red card, but I feel really bad for Thomas Frank because seems like a good, genuine dude. And the Spurs fans are just at his throat. They
They
want him out.
hate him. Frank's not that bad of a manager. Yeah, well, saying that, and then the Tottenham form this season is probably not a good argument. But when he was at Brentford, I mean, Brentford was a scary team to have to go against no matter who you were. You were convinced they could take 3 points off of you at any given moment. And now he goes to Tottenham, a big 6 club, has more firepower and more money to play with. And they're just still Spurs. It's still Tottenham.
Well, let me ask you this. Although Spurs aren't doing great this season, I think they're 14th in the table right now, but they were arguably worse last year.
They almost got relegated, yeah.
Yeah, if they were here last year, they're here this year. So they're not much better, but at least they're not shipping in as many goals as they were last year, right? And they're competing in a higher league, right? They're in Champions League. They're not in the Europa League. So they're competing against a higher quality opposition. And they're doing all right, actually, in the Champions League. In the table, they're actually 5th.
Spurs, let's go, Tottenham.
They seem to be becoming a tournament team.
Yeah.
And granted, they have Kulusevski out. They have some top quality guys out. Madison's out, some of their starters. So I don't like when fans turn on managers when your starters are out, significant starters. It's not just like, oh, here's my left back who doesn't really produce much or stop much. He's just there. Madison and Kulusevski were arguably some of their best players last season. So to have those two out, I mean, you got to give him a little bit more time. Yes, he's not as exciting as Ange, but we knew that. Everybody knew that when they hired him.
Ooh, exciting as Ange. I don't know if Tottenham fans would call him Ange exciting. I'd call it.
No, his play style was very exciting going forward.
Okay.
You knew when you're going to a Spurs game, it was going to be a high scoring game. It's like basketball, right? And you're just like, dude, this is like a 5-3 game, or it's going to be a 4-2.
Yeah, or it's going to be
you
like
knew
a
there was going to be goals.
6-2, whatever.
Yeah, there would never be a 0-0. Exciting and entertaining in that aspect, not when they're on the losing end.
Yeah,
of
as a fan, you definitely suck to watch Ange. I mean, I like Ange. Ange was a nice enough guy. I think the Prem was just far too big for him. Yeah,
I don't know if I would say that. I mean, I just think hey, what was that face for?
He got bounced from Forest the start of this year. What do you mean?
Dude, yeah, but look, that was a terrible. I don't even know why he applied to that. You went from Nuno to Ange, so completely different. What did you or anybody else expect him to do in that time frame?
I don't think Ange applied for that job.
He shouldn't have applied.
Forest's owner is just a psycho, dude. And he said, no, we need Ange.
It's the Greek connection. And he wanted to play something more exciting. So for those that didn't know, Ange Postecoglou is Greek. He just is born and raised in Australia, but Greek heritage. I think Ange is fine for the Prem. Just he has to be at a team where he had 2 good center backs in and out of injuries, had an okay keeper, but it was pretty exciting to watch him play.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think there's I definitely think he's there.
His system's too open. Scotland worked great. I think that's probably his level, but I just don't see that open flowing, let's keep just thumping, let's go. It just doesn't really work. At least now in, this version of the Premier League. It may have worked 10 years ago when it was Klopp and Pep, the golden era, where it was just heavy metal football, high intensity, just keep going and going. But it's changed now. Klopp changed, before in his last 2 years. Heavy metal football stopped being, heavy metal. So,
but all it takes is a couple tweaks. If he just does a couple adjustments, I think he could be solid. He's a little too far forward on the offensive. If you tweak it, make it a little bit more balanced, I think he would be fine. But neither here nor there, he's gone. Another upset in Champions League: City versus Bodo Glimt. 3-1. Red card for Rodri within a minute apart, something like 60 seconds.
Oh my days! Dude. So Rodri kicks out a Bodo Glimt player, right? Just tacks his ankles. Obvious, this is a yellow Rodri. He knows that. Bodo Glimt starts making a counter. Rodri being the king of tactical fouls, he says, you know what I need to do? I need to wrap my arm across this guy's chest and pull him back for a tactical foul. And then the official's like, Rodri, what the fuck, dude? Like, here's a yellow, bro. Like, you're done. You're off. And Rodri's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's like, I don't know what happened to City. I honestly don't. I don't know where this version of City was when Jurgen was just fighting for his life week in, week out. I mean, Bodo Glimt, their number 9 got a brace within, I think, 5-10 minutes of each other. And they weren't just, counterattack goals. No, he had to take these shots and execute them perfectly. And he did. Then they had their midfielder cut all the way in from the wing. And they just sent a beautiful curler into the top quarter. Donnarumma had no chance. Turkey got a deflected goal in to make it 3-1, but that goal didn't mean anything. They never had a chance in this game. And that's weird that you're saying this, that Man City did not have a chance against a Norwegian club in the Champions League. No disrespect to the Norwegian League, no disrespect to Bodo Glimt, but they'd never been an English team before. And no one on the face of the earth would have thought Man City would be the one to gift them that first win. This is just a poor City team. Holland looked bad. The best player on the pitch was Turkey, and he was still kind of a ghost for majority of the game. Wow. That's why European football is the best, man, because anything can happen, dude. Anything can happen.
I bet Klopp would love to play against City now, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
When
we're scoring 90 points every season? Yeah.
Begging, where was this City when I was here?
He's asking, hey, where are these hundreds of millions of pounds when I was manager? Where did all this money come from, guys?
But I will say on the rotary tackle, I think it was instinctive. The second one, he did it, and he's like, "Oh shit, too late." Yeah. And he knew he gave the ref no choice. He knew he had to go at
exactly
that point.
What he did.
Unfortunately, obviously, he's going to miss the next game. Are you worried about City not making the next round, or how do you feel about it?
I don't think there's any way City doesn't make the next round, right? They need a win to go forward, right? Or they might just need the.
They're 11th right now, 13 points in the Champions League. So, yeah, they're most likely going to make it.
Yeah, but a win would help. I mean, the City team is so bipolar, you know what I mean? Like last week, they can just be horrific to watch. And then the next weekend, they put 5 against somebody and keep a clean sheet. They lost this week to Bodo Glimt, and they won 2-0 to Wolves, who's basically Bodo Glimt.
Same colors.
Same colors. They're probably playing. Bodo Glimt's probably better than this Wolves side because this Wolves side is shocking, man. They're pretty bad, but there's no way City doesn't qualify. That's too crazy. If City doesn't qualify, then Pep is for sure gone, dude. There's no reason. He's done. He's tired. You already see in the system. I think watching the City side, it's so much more labored than it once was. Like, just follow me for a second. With De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Rodri, that midfield was just so fluid. It's like they didn't even think about what to do with the ball. It was at their feet. They're already making the move. They're fullbacks. They know what to do. They know how to press. They know where to send the balls to. The wingers, they know when to cut inside. They know when to lay it off to the 9. They know when to recycle. It was a well-oiled machine. And now it's a lot of thinking happening now, which is not a Pep system. You're not supposed to be thinking. You're supposed to be reacting and doing. And Turkey, he sits on the ball. He's brilliant. He's brilliant on the ball, but he sits, ponders, and waits. Foden, a guy who I've never, ever just think ever on the football pitch. He just does. He's thinking now, and he's pretty bad this season. The only person who is still clicking properly is Haaland. But what can Haaland do? He's just the number 9. You need to have a solid midfield. You need to have somebody work with you. And I don't know, man, it might be time. It might be time for Pep. His system, either he has the wrong players in his system or it's finally been found out. He just doesn't know how to tweak it anymore.
He looks exhausted, in my opinion. He just looks tired, even more than me. Every game before match, he just looks like he needs a break. This is the longest one he's had. It's 10th season, I believe. He's adamant that he's staying next year too, but there's a chance that he's done after this season. But for sure, after next season, he's done. He'll probably take a year, maybe 2 sabbatical. I know he's talked about wanting the Brazil job. So maybe he'll do that after, kind of just right off into the sunset, part-time, essentially. We'll see. There's a couple other results in the Champions League that I wanted to talk about. Napoli against Copenhagen. 1-1, and Copenhagen was on a red, playing with 10 men. How they didn't win, I'm not sure.
Our favorite guy scored.
But they're not able to do it in Champions League, man, like on a consistent basis. I think even in the league, they're not as solid as they were last season. They're still fighting, but even Scott McTominay, after when they interviewed him, he doesn't even know. He's like, we just can't figure it out in the Champions League. And even this season is just in Serie A, we're just struggling. The final piece, final third, man. But Højlund is kind of by himself. He's like, we need to help him more. So it's good. I mean, maybe he's backing up his old Man U teammate, but yeah, they're a little rocky. If I was Conte, he's probably pissed.
I was convinced this move for Højlund was going to be great for him, and he's just been just bad, man.
He's been all right. He's been all right. Definitely better than he was at United.
Yeah, definitely better than where he was at United, but I don't think he scored in his past 6, 7 games.
You can say that for a lot of strikers, though.
Yeah,
The
but
whole
he's playing. I mean, I don't think Lukaku's back. He's not
he's
healthy
not.
enough. I think is De Bruyne hurt still? I don't know.
I think so.
The lack of service that their 9 is getting doesn't make sense to me if you have a De Bruyne on your team. Even Scotty. I mean, Scotty's not a advanced kind of playmaker, but he can get the ball where it needs to be. He can drop defenders to him. I mean, he can do the damn thing.
He is actually a better attacking midfielder than he is defensive. He actually used to play striker in his younger days when he was like in an academy and whatnot. So he kind of just, like most people, regress and go back into the positions in the formation. But that's why he does so well when, like last season, when he was at like that basically that number 10 running off Lukaku. He was just putting balls in the back of the net, especially late, kind of like how Bellingham was a couple of years ago. Scott McTominay is not playing that same position though this year. He's playing a little bit deeper, and I think it's affecting the goals and assists. And they need to push him back up.
Yeah,
Help
they're
him, help
trying to
Hoyland.
shoehorn De
They're
Bruyne
both
into this
giants.
team. Yeah.
Yeah, the final result that I really want to talk about in Champions League was going to be your boys, Liverpool, Marseille, 3-0. Man, you guys made that look easy. When I watched that, I was like, oh, Liverpool are finally starting to click.
That's the Liverpool team I recognize. That's the team I saw last season. I can wax lyrical about Verts, man. I honestly can. That guy, he's amazing. He doesn't score or he doesn't assist every single time, every game, but that guy's gonna be a Ballon d'Or. And I said it. He's gonna win the Ballon d'Or.
This
He's
year,
gonna win before Yamal. He's gonna win before Saka. Sorry, Arsenal fans. Saka's probably never gonna win a Ballon d'Or. Hate to break it to you. But yeah, the Szoboszlai goal under the wall. Bellissimo. So beautiful, man. Perfect. I think they should have given that own goal to Frimpong. It was basically just a deflected. I don't think it was a clearance that went wrong, but they didn't want to give it to him. And Gakpo scored. I love Gakpo. Gakpo is bringing this team down currently. But yeah, man, this was the best I think Liverpool's played all season. Now, that's with the caveat that it's a Liga team. It's Olympique Marseille.
they're good though this year. Marseille is
In
pushing.
Liga, yeah. In
Yeah,
Liga. It's still the French league, man. I'm
it
only
is.
worried about Paris. That's the only team I worry about. I mean, the one thing I would have really, really liked is if someone on Liverpool would have thumped Marseille's 10, but that's just a personal vendetta of mine. I would have loved if someone just gave his bell, a quick little ring. But Timmy Weah, man, I thought he would be a little better in I guess a less physical league, and he still just looks like the same lost way he did looks like on Juve and the same lost way he looks like on the national team. And Weah's probably my favorite player on the national team, and that hurts to say. I don't know what to do about that guy anymore. He was a striker, but now he's a fullback and a wingback now. How do you go from being a 9 to playing all the way in the back 4 or a back 5?
I got one word to answer that. Juve. That's how. Juve will do that to you, man. When Allegri was there and they're playing so defensive, they just put him off to the right and they basically play those wingbacks. So, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, dude, this game was great. It was the best Liverpool's played all season. It gave me belief. I started to believe in this team again. It's like, yes,
Well, you guys are looking good. You're sitting fourth you're sitting fourth in the Champions League table.
we're
You'll
definitely a
qualify, no
European team
problem.
right now. Yeah, we're in the same spot Liverpool was in 2004, 2005. What happened in that Champions League? Istanbul?
Sorry, you're on mute. What?
Istanbul?
That was the most.
Okay.
That was the. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys
We're
paid
gonna
the refs
win
or something. That
7
was
in
ridiculous.
Budapest. We're gonna win 7 in Budapest. I don't think we're actually gonna win. It would be nice. Be nice. I think we can probably make it to the quarters. Semis is a stretch to me. This team's too good to not make a deeper run in Europe. But what's going on in the league, I'd rather not say right now until we get to that part.
One last thing on that 05 team that you were talking about. That 05 Liverpool team has to go down as one of the worst teams to ever win the Champions League.
It wasn't the best. So Lucho Garcia, we had Stevie, Carragher, Jersey Dudek, Chabi. It's not the most exciting guys. Dirk Coit, sorry, I can't believe I forgot about Dirk. We're not, oh my gosh, these guys are dynamos. You know, Stevie obviously is a dynamo. Chabi, one of the best midfielders to ever do it. That team won because they did it the Liverpool way. I mean, the Liverpool way isn't about having a million guys be making £1 million a week. It's about playing for each other and just having this heart and desire to win, to know that, no, I'm going to win this game. I'm just going to outwork you. Mentality monsters, dude. That's a phrase that's used all throughout the league now. And who's coined that? Jurgen, because that's the Liverpool thing. We work hard, and we're gonna outwork you. And when your lungs are bursting, that's when we strike, and that's exactly what happened.
We gave you that Champions League. We dropped the ball so hard. You go pound for pound. That was probably one of the best Milan teams ever.
I don't know. I
And
mean, to say that Milan dropped the ball on that is doing a discredit to that team. I think that team just. Liverpool worked hard, dude. That Rafa made the right changes, moved Stevie into a right back. He puts in a shift, and that team just starts clicking again.
we thought we won at halftime.
No, for sure, for sure.
I mean,
and
we
when
were
the first one went in,
we took
they
the
got
foot off the
nervous.
gas.
Then the Chabi pen, game on. Game all
Ridiculous.
the way on.
All right, let's move on. I just want to mention like a game or two in each of the other leagues real quick. To be honest, only one in this league, the championship. EFL Championship, Wrexham, they won. They're now in the top 6, now in that spot for the playoff position.
Yeah.
I mean, thoughts? I don't know if you're a Wrexham fan or not, if you watch the show. I think it's pretty neat that Rob and Ryan are taking them up. If they do this and make a back-to-back-to-back promotion, that would be historic. Do you think they will?
My brain at the start of the season told me there's no way this is going to happen. The championship is a whole different beast. Non-league football to then go into League 2, League 1. Okay, now you're in championship. Me personally, I like watching Blackburn in the championship, and they just I'm convinced they're just never ever going to get out of the championship ever again. It's really cool, and it's so impressive that Wrexham just came in and they're not just like surviving, they're competing week in, week out. Like, you have to seriously worry about this Wrexham side. My heart wants it to happen. My brain's still saying there's just no way they can keep this up. The wheels have to come off at some point. To do this consecutively, then jump from the championship to the Prem, you're talking about a whole other different beast from jumping to League 1 to the championship. Like, this is a different stratosphere, almost a different universe. So you have to start spending with the big dogs, and FFP is not going to let Wrexham just come in and drop 200 million on a few players and say, okay, we got to figure it out now. Like, no, they got to work this up. So I don't know. I think they may need another year.
Ryan have money, but they're not billionaires, so I don't even think they'll be able to spend that money, even if they could. On the flip side, good thing they do have somebody who has, you said it's had a different stratosphere, a different universe. Ryan Reynolds, maybe his Deadpool character is used to the multiverse. Maybe he'll be able to find a way to get it going.
Can't believe you just fucking said that, dude.
But I will say, I think I'm in the same boat as you. My heart says, let's go. They can do it. But realistically, I think they're overperforming expectations. So
100%. If they do make it in, they're just going to get bounced out. I just don't see them surviving in the Prem if they make it up.
Even if they do, they will get bounced. If they spend 2, even 3 years more in the championship, that's still a pretty good success record. So keep your head up, Wrexham fans. All right, let's move to La Liga, where Barca and Madrid sitting pretty at top of the table, 52 and 51 points, respectively. Madrid closed the gap down to 1 point. Obviously, it's way too early to predict who's going to win, but if you had to choose, who do you think's taking this title this year?
Barca, dude. New manager bounce at Madrid is great. Good for them. The wheels are going to come off at some point. Their egos are always going to come into play. I think winning that Champions League as early as he did in his career was the worst thing to happen to Vinicius. Truly, I think so, because he's not a nutcase, but it's like, dude, your ego is so big. You're not Ronaldinho. You're not Ronaldo. Okay, you're not. Let's say you're not Cruyff. You're not Thierry Henry. Right? You're none of these guys. You're at this level where you will be forgotten about, Vinny. It's gonna happen, and I know it's gonna be hard for some Madristas to be like, no, Vinny, our baby. Realistically, is Vinny someone that's going to be remembered in the history of Madrid? No, I don't think so. All he does is complain, and he complains some more, and he'll complain some more, and he'll do it 10 times if he has to, right? Remember that? 10 times. I'll do it 10 times if I have to. Hey, was he even in the top 5 for the last 2 Ballon d'Ors? 10 times if you have to, Vinny. It's just it's so maddening to me, man. Maybe it's because I love Xavi so much, and I'm still mad that they took Trent, but Madrid is not serious. They're not a serious team. I still firmly believe that Galacticos system is not gonna work anymore. It's worked for 20 plus years because there wasn't all this social media and all these other, opportunities to make money outside of just playing football. These guys are going to Madrid not to play football. They're going there for a business decision. It's the biggest club in the world. It makes the most money, has the largest market. If you want to be a brand, where do you go? Madrid. Who did this at the start of it all? I mean, in my lifetime that I can remember, Bex did this. Bex started this entire trend of people just going to Madrid because it's going to boost your popularity.
What
And
happened
you look
before
at
Bex?
before Bex, but I mean, from what I can remember, it's Bex. Bex, flashy flash, the Preds, the long hair, he did it. And you look at Barca, Flick is a great manager, man. I really, really like Flick. And, Yamal still has a lot to prove. I hope he can get over his injury thing, but my goodness gracious, is that guy from Leeds one heck of a player? Rafinha can play football, dude.
Yeah.
Again, that punt Barca took on Rafinha all those years ago, masterstroke, man. Probably one of the best scouting decisions they've done in a long, long time. So to answer your question, I have Barca.
Yeah, I think I have Barca as well. Obviously, I wish Madrid would win, but I do think Barca's just been more consistent, and they both have depth, but Barca just seems to be on another level, and I think Flick is clearly the better manager of the two. Now, as far as their Champions League run goes, I will say if you look at the winners of the last, I don't know, 5-10 years, a lot of those teams that have won it are very good collective teams. Madrid is the only one that just has mega superstars, Galacticos, if you will, and are winning it, right? When PSG had their versions of Galacticos and their big stars, they didn't win it, right? This last year they won it. They're a good collective, cohesive team. Liverpool, good collective, cohesive team. City, same thing. So Madrid can pull it out every once in a while, especially in the Champions League. They say it's their tournament, but haven't been as consistent when it comes to domestic form. They finish first one year, second the next year. It just kind of just bounces back and forth.
Let me ask you this. Is that three-peat Madrid team not like a great collective? They had great standout star players, but that team was just so, so good, man. So well coached. The defense, midfield, the attack, they all worked for each other. Of course, Ronaldo's the main guy, and you want to feed it to him or you want to get it to Bale or Benzema, but dude, that was a collective. And I think Galacticos works when it does have a coach that forces them to be in a collective. And Ancelotti's just bred that environment where it's not going to be a thing.
I don't know if I would say it's collective in the sense that you're not going to see the wingers or the 9 running back. Benzema, when he was there, would drop into that space, but Ronaldo ain't running back. Bale's not running back. At some point, when you get that big of an ego as superstars, they're not running back. When you see the Bayern 2020 team, everybody was running up and
Yeah.
down. The Liverpool team, everybody running up and down and putting in that shift for each other. Whereas Madrid, they played a little bit deeper, right? And you had the midfield of Casemiro, Cruz, Modric. They would win the ball and then ping it to those top 3, right? And then let them do their magic. So I would say there were still more superstars than collective.
All right.
All
I'll
right,
give you that.
let's move on to Serie A. For me, the game that I watched over the weekend was Milan-Roma. Obviously ended in a draw. Unfortunately, Bartesaghi got a handball against him in the 18-yard box, and penalty. Roma tied at 1-1. Kind of flat. Over the last 5 games, Milan have only won 2, drawn 3. They've only lost 1 all season in Serie A, so they have been a fortress when it comes to their league play. But it's a lot of draws. They have 8 draws. Classic Allegri. However, Roma looked so good. Malin almost scored in the first play. Every time Roma had the ball, I was worried. They cut through
Dangerous.
Milan like the hot knife through butter, and it did not look good. It didn't look like a fortress. It didn't look stable for Milan, if I'm being honest. I think Mike Mignon kept him in the game big time, but if it wasn't for him, we would have got destroyed.
That's the whole reason why he got fired from Juve. He kept, oh, we're not losing. Yeah, you're certainly not winning anything, though. So great, we're not losing these games. Like, sure, Milan will qualify for European football. Milan's the most European-wise, it's the most successful club in Serie A. League-wise, sure, give it to Juve and Inter, but AC Milan's the team of Italy. And to have this team just be, oh, okay, guys, well, As long as we don't concede 2 goals and we can equalize, we're happy, right, guys? We're just gonna be so happy. Like, what? This is why Serie A teams get ripped apart in the Champions League, man. Like, you focus so much on the defense that, hate to break it to you guys, you're focusing on a defense that would have been great 10, 15 years ago. These tactics don't work in Europe anymore. And again, we say it all the time, man. I don't understand how Italian football just doesn't get that yet. Like, the system doesn't work. You guys sent Inter to get absolutely annihilated in a Champions League final. They got annihilated, dude. And they think, oh no, defensive football still works. It doesn't work.
That's the Italian identity, and I don't know if that will ever change. It is what it is. It's just boring at this point, and I think we've gotten so used to seeing Klopp and Pep and Luis Enrique, and we've seen that, and it's exciting. And when Allegri was first at Milan, right, he still played the 4-5-1. If you're winning and you're top of the league, people will accept that. But when you're not winning anything, or you're always second, third, fourth, fifth, then people start complaining. Jose Mourinho, same thing. Like, their style is just, if you're not winning, it's so boring.
It sucks to watch.
Yeah, it's horrible. So that's it for Serie A. Let's focus on the last part, on the EPL. Where should we start here? All right, we'll start with you guys. Perfect way. Dude, when I saw that, I was like, okay, especially after the Champions League game. I was like, Liverpool, gonna wallop them. They're coming
I
out.
thought we were so back. I was convinced we were so back, dude. The first 20 minutes of that game, I was like, oh my God, this wasn't just a fluke. The Marseille game wasn't a fluke. Liverpool can play. We can actually play, guys. And then Avelason scored. And then I was like, perfect. This is the Liverpool team I remember. Yes, we suck in the league. And then Van Dijk, what a stinker. Holy stinker, dude. Just doesn't even clear the ball, gifts it to Jimenez. After Joe Gomez is hurt, we decide to not sub him off because Arne Slot, just the masterful tactician. Why should I sub off an injury-prone Joe Gomez? I shouldn't do that. I'm going to leave him on while he's hurt for 7 minutes and put on Endo. Fucking brilliant. Brilliant. Van Dijk makes that first mistake with that goal. Oh my gosh. So happy, bro. So happy. Then the Szoboszlai free kick to equalize. I thought we were going to go find the winner. Convinced we were going to find the winner. Then they fucking whoa. Then Bournemouth scored in the 90th minute, dude. 90th minute. Yeah. 90th. Do you hear me? The 90th minute they score on us. And I can't take it anymore, man.
I'm loving this.
The thing is, we're doing so well in the Champions League, right? We're obviously a team that's built for Europe. Those are the changes Slot's made to this system right now. But while making those changes, we've then somehow completely opened up this stone wall of defense that we had. No one was getting past us last season. $5, please. Come on through, man. No, actually, I'll pay you money to come through our defense. Come through the middle of the park. I'm not going to stop you. Just do it. Maka, I love him. I love him so much. He's one of my favorite players to watch right now. He's got to be hurt or this team is suffering from this summer. It's crazy. Van Dijk. It's the same thing with Saka with this season, man. He picks and chooses when he wants to show up in some of these games. That's just what it looks like. And he's cool as you like, calm, cool as you like. I love Virgil van Dijk. It's getting pretty annoying now when he just completely blows it and then says, yeah, it wasn't my fault though, right, guys? It's like, no, Virg, that was on you, dude. And he has this 1 or 2 a season, but this year he's had 4 or 5 mistakes directly leading to a goal. That's not something Van Dijk's ever done since he's been at Liverpool. That's why he's getting ripped apart this season, dude. He has such high standards that everyone's like, Virgil, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, man? Look at this. Like, oh, Van Dijk's better than X, Y, and Z. No, he's not. Look at the stinker he's had once again. With that all being said about the players, I think truly the issue is with Arne Slot. It's with Slot at this point. He won us the league last year. That's great. We won the league because of pure individual brilliance. I'm talking about Mo Salah, I'm talking about Lucho, Van Dijk, Szoboszlai, Maka. Those were our best players last season.
Gravenberch.
And Graves. Graves was amazing as well. But talking about guys who changed the games all the time, it was them. Maka would grab a goal when we needed it. He would just get it. You need to know how he did it. Szoboszlai would do the same thing, or you just ping a beautiful ball through. Lucho would just attack. And then Mo Salah. Mo Salah just was Mo Salah. And now it's just, I don't get it, man. I'm this is how confused I am, because we used to have our fullbacks make those overlapping runs so they can cut inside, because that's what makes sense, right? Lucha liked to come in. Gakpo loves to, because Gakpo only knows how to cut inside. But now we're asking Kirkes, who was a guy who was amazing on running the overlap, then just pinging balls into the box. We're asking him to come inverted and then shift out and then start this real weird circular triangle with Gakpo being the center of all of our, creativity. It's weird. Then we have Frimpong on the right. This guy's a lightning bolt. No, just Frimpong, just keep doing these weird inverted runs as well, please. And then when Wirtz finally has enough of it, that's when he starts feeding Frimpong down the wing. I just don't understand why we bought all these players to play the system that worked so well last year, and then we completely abandoned it. I don't know if this is us getting figured out, or if Slot just truly is a poor manager, man. I mean, sure, and everyone coming off your bench can't be a starter, right, for your team. We spent a lot of money a few years ago for Calvin Ramsey, one of the highly rated right back prospects. Spent a lot of money on him. We brought in Fetty. We have Trey Nuoni. We have Rio.
Not using
You're
him.
telling me you don't trust these guys at all? You don't trust them at all. Then why the hell are they on our bench? Why are they here then if you don't trust them? He's got to go. He's probably not going to go in the middle of the season, because that would require FSG to wipe egg on their face and Hughes and Edwards to be like, you're right, guys. We got this one wrong. They don't strike me as the guys that will admit they got something wrong in the middle of the year. So I think Slot has the end of the season. And if even we win the Champions League, he's out, dude. This is completely unacceptable. Losing 4-1 to PSV, unacceptable. Losing to Forest at home, unacceptable. Not to be able to do the double over newly promoted sides, unacceptable. Losing in the 90th minute to Bournemouth, utterly and totally unacceptable, man. Thank you again, Arne. Thank you for the league. But we have to have standards, and it's not the Liverpool way to sack a manager in the middle of the season. However, we have done it before, most notably with a certain Klopp coming in to fix all the problems. And what happened? Great things happened. I don't think it matters when we sack Arnie. Arnie just has to get sacked, and it's probably going to be Xabi, which, great, that's what I wanted in the first place, man.
If Xabi wasn't available, would you be so eager to sack Slot?
No. There's so many reports coming out, dude. The Athletics report about it. Echoes report about it. Indy and Elka, who, if you're a Liverpool fan, you know Indy, he's cooking now, dude. Indy's actually a real journalist. They've all said, yeah, the only reason why FSG is talking to Xabi now is because he's available. Why are these talks happening now? It's because, okay, our number one choice is available again. We have to get rid of this guy. If Nagelsmann was available, I'm sure he'd be talking about getting rid of a Slot. If Flick was available, I'm sure he'd be talking about him. Enrique, sure, we'd talk about getting those guys. But he's very lucky that Madrid took as long as it did to sack Xabi. Thank you, Madrid. That's probably one of the dumbest things that they're probably going to ever do in the next 10 years. How do you fire your coach and then literally all of Europe wants him immediately? That should tell you might have messed up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think Xavi to Real Madrid was the right fit. I get, Spain ties and Real Madrid ties, but it also has to fit the style. And his style is about, like I said earlier, the collective and everybody being a workhorse. And that's not Madrid's identity. So I never thought that was going to turn out well. I did want to ask your question about a couple players on your team. One person's name who goes under the radar, and I'm not saying they're at fault at all. However, you also don't hear any good things about this player, and we used to hear good things all the time. Alisson, what's going on? I don't see the world-class saves. I don't hear anybody mentioning him about being the number 1, 2, or 3 in the world anymore.
Well, I mean, you look at last season, he was easily in that conversation, but now this season, he's making these great saves to start. He was our man of the match in the Champions League. He was one of our best players. He's kept us in the game. He still has the stopping ability, but you can't ask him to stop the second, third, fourth, fifth shots that are always coming through. There's getting deflections where Ali's still trying to get to the ball, but it's deflected. It's just poor defending that he has to deal with now. Of course, a goalkeeper can't always be the number one best guy. Every Liverpool player can't be the best in his position. But I don't think he's dropped off to be out of the conversation of best keepers in the world. He still is one of the best keepers in the world. He has a bonehead on the right, an Ibu, and then a just shocking Virgil van Dijk on his left. And what more can you do when Maka gives the ball up every 3 seconds, grabs half turns aren't really that effective anymore? There's only so much Ali can do. None of this is on him.
So with Virgil van Dijk having the season he's having, do you put that down to age? Do you think he's finally slowing down a bit?
I mean, watching him play, it doesn't look like he's slowed at all. I think it's all up here. A lot of these things that these players are doing, it just seems like it's just mental errors. Like, why on earth are you doing this? This is not something you've ever done. That can be down to a number of things. Maybe you got that big contract. And he's like, okay, I don't care anymore. My future at the club is secured. Maybe it's what happened in the summer. Maybe it's just, having to have a new partner on your left and Kirkes when you had Robbo forever and ever. Maybe it's that the fact that they don't have to cover for Trent anymore. So now they're kind of confused on how to defend. They're used to always having to be 3 in the back because Trent was just fucked off doing whatever he was going to do. And now they have a real back four of defenders. He's not slow. He's not slowed down at all. I think, if anything, he's kept the same pace that he's had when, he first came back from injury. He's still the same quick, strong guy that he was. What do you want him to do? He has to cover for Ibu, and Ibu, rest in peace, his dad. I'm sure maybe that's why Ibu's been out of, form this past year. He has a lot probably on his plate. Again, this whole team has a lot on their plate to deal with, but it's not age. It's just mental errors, man. How many times do I text you during these games? Like, these guys look like they're freaking me kicking the ball, man. Like, I could kick it that well. And they're sending it to the moon. What's going on here, dude?
I don't even want to get into the conversation of whether Van Dijk's the greatest EPL defender of all time. I don't think so. I think this season kind of helps my point, but we'll have that conversation another day. I wanted to ask you this, though. Hindsight's a beautiful thing, right? Looking back, was it a mistake to give Mo Salah and Van Dijk a new contract?
No, not at all. If you look how Hendo left, right? He wanted a contract. He wanted a big contract, but we told him, hey, dude, we can't guarantee you first team football, and we can't give you a big money contract like that because you're Jordan Henderson. Sorry, not sorry. And he was pissed off and he left. I was mad when Hendo left, but I still would have loved to have given him a send off. That guy, he was the captain after Stevie. He was the captain for the Champions League, FA, League Cups, Premier League, man. Hendo should have been an icon, a legend here. But he just left, and he's going to be remembered for great things, but he's kind of fucked off. And I think FSG got wind of how upset Liverpool fans are and would have been if we did not at least give these guys one more year to then tell us, this is my last season at the club. I'm going to retire or I'm going to transfer out of here. There's no way it's ever going to happen. Both of those guys earn the right to decide what they want to do. Either they want to retire here or they can transfer somewhere else after this season or the next. You can't say we messed up giving Mo Salah that contract extension after he literally wins almost every single war on the planet, gets fleeced out of the Ballon d'Or. Won't say why, but the French know why they did that. How can you not give it to him? I mean, Van Dijk, he's imperious, dude. He's so good. Even last season, he was so good. They forced FSG's hand to say, okay, we have to extend you for another 2 years at least. We have to give you this contract. They're way too good, man. They're just far too good. I think maybe the issue is getting rid of Gerald Kwanzaa, our only other center back cover. That was not a good move. Getting rid of Tyler Morton, who is literally the 6th replacement Slot's been looking for. Wow, look how good that guy is. Wow, it's almost like we had him. I sold him for pennies. If James McConnell, send him on loan on Ajax. Spike Hiltzig got fired from Ajax, so now McConnell's just rotting away over there, not developing at all. Why don't we bring him in? And McConnell is another great young 6. He has potential to fit into this team, not be a superstar, but you don't always need a superstar. You need someone who's going to do his job. And none of this is on the players, dude. I just can't, in my heart, I can't put this on any player saying, no, we shouldn't have given you this money, or, you're bad this year. It's Slot, like Mr. Slot. What are you doing? You have to use your bench. You don't have to play him for 90 minutes. No one's telling you to play Endo for the full 90. But we're asking to see Fede for 30 minutes. We want to see Rio for 20. We want to see Trey Nwoni for 20. You need the midfield cover. I don't have my coach's badges. I don't have my licenses. Did play a lot of FIFA, play a lot of Football Manager. So I know when to make substitutions and what kind of subs would probably affect a game. And I just can't believe Slot doesn't know how to do that. I mean, what he did last season. He was known for making these great subs, and it's just gone now.
Yeah, it seems he clearly doesn't trust the depth that you guys do have. Well, that being said, you make some good points on Liverpool, but we're cutting close on time. So let's move on to the game of the weekend. Man U versus Arsenal. Upset. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Even though they had that new manager bounce with Carrick and they just came off that high off beating City, I still don't think anybody had United winning this game at the Emirates.
Dude.
Thoughts?
I saw the first own goal, right? The Martinez own goal. I texted one of my friends, not you, but another one of my United friends. I was like,
you have other friends?
I do have other friends. And I was like, holy own goal, dude. United is going to unite so hard. Thanks, guys.
Typical United.
Going to eat on this hate watch. Then Mbeumo scored. I said,
which was a gimme goal, by the way.
I said, hold the phone.
Wow, I was shocked. Zubimendi has been playing solid this year, so for him to give up that pass...
Dude,
ooh,
I mean,
ouch.
Zubimendi's been good, but in all the games that Arsenal has dropped points in, very serious games, Zubimendi's been directly at fault for goals. He's been directly at fault for it. So he's good, but I don't think he's this amazing six, one of the best midfielders in the league that Arsenal fans, because as we know, dude, as we've already discussed, they're the most level-headed, down-to-earth, grounded people on the planet. That's why Declan Rice is the greatest midfielder to ever play. He's better than Gerrard, Scholes, and Lampard. You just ask Arsenal fans; they've already said so.
They're already picking him to win the Ballon d'Or.
I'm not. What I want to say, I'm not going to say because it's really offensive and would get us kicked off. So I'm not going to say it. Then Drogu scores, dude.
Dude, that goal wasn't. He didn't just score. That was a golazo.
Talk about a banger, holy banger. Then Moreno scores. Set piece FC. Hold on, sorry. Own goal and set piece FC strikes again, dude, because they cannot score unless the other team does it for them or if it's from a corner, which is, again, welcome back, Stoke City, dude. Woo!
I don't know how anybody's supposed to defend against that. You have 12 guys surrounding the keeper. What is Lemon supposed to do? He can't go out and punch. He can't go out and do anything.
That he never was going to reach that. He should have just stayed on his line. There were 6 guys in front of him, and there was no point to go and try to punch that ball.
But don't you think it's a ridiculous tactic? If you're just literally have 12 people surrounding...
It's not football.
You have 6 Arsenal players, and obviously United has to defend them. So totally having like 8 to 12 guys surrounding the keeper, it's ugly.
They're bumping him to him. I thought the keeper is a sacred player. You can't touch them. You can't shove anyone into him. That's how it was forever. But then Arsenal starts doing it, and EFL refs like, oh, no, guys.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just do what you want. It's Arsenal, right?
Yeah, and Sesko almost cleared that off the line, man. He was.
I wanted him to so bad, and then I'm sure the entire world's like, Arsenal walked away with points.
Oh, that was me. That was me. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Holy banger, dude.
I would have been okay if we got the draw, though. To be honest, I mean, to see how United's season's been.
But then Cunha heard you saying that, and he said, Travis, hold on. Do you want to see a fucking goal, bud?
Beautiful. Now, let me ask you, which one was better, Cunha's or Patrick Dorgu's?
No, dude, Cunha's, man. Oh, my God. I mean, just given the time it came in, Drogu's was a freaking great, man. That was a great goal. But Cunha's, no one was ever stopping that. As soon as I saw him cut inside, my jaw dropped and said, no, take the shot, dude. Take the shot. And it was just beautiful, man. What makes me mad about this game is that Arsenal made me want United to win a football game. That's how terrible it is to watch Arsenal play football, man. They didn't try in this game, man. They didn't. They did not try. As soon as Mbeumo equalized, they're like, okay, don't do anything anymore. What were you just saying about Saka? He had someone putting his body into him for 90 minutes, and he disappeared. He did nothing. All the, signature Saka move. How many times have we seen him cut inside and then hit that far corner with his left foot? I can think of maybe 3 instances he's done that in the past 2 or 3 years. Whenever he tries to do that, he gets shut down right away. This is your star player, right? He needs to show up. He didn't. Odegaard, your captain, who's also supposed to be better than the great midfielders in Premier League history. He got hooked after 60. Stinks. He stinks. He's stinky. Declan Rice, dude, Marty Supreme, the biggest meat rider I've ever seen. This guy sucks, dude. He sucks. Shout out West Ham Central. If you're ever watching this, shouting you out right now. When West Ham won the Conference League, they put this tweet up and said, enjoy while you can, guys. This is the first and only time Declan Rice is going to lift a trophy in his career.
Ouch. And
is he wrong so far? Ooh, he's not wrong. Oh, my gosh. And 4 points now away from City after having 8 cleared, and they were supposed to be better than last season's Liverpool team. They're actually actively worse. Dude, the ghost of Wenger haunts them.
The table doesn't lie. They've been the best team overall so far this year. But you're right. I think they're panicking. They're hitting the panic button a little bit early. I'm surprised in January that they are panicking. Usually you hit this when you have 6, 7, 8 games left, right? Hit in the last month or two. We still have 4 months to go.
Still a
So
lot of football left to play.
yeah, I'm surprised. Do I think they'll bounce back? Probably. Do I think they'll win the Premier League still? Yes. However, you can't give anything to the City team because historically over the second half of the season they have been much better than the first half. Now, they haven't been as stable as usual years, but you don't want to give them that chance.
No, exactly. They're within 2 wins. What are you doing?
If they don't win this title, bottle jobs. That's all I got to say.
Oh, but dude, I mean, Arteta has to go.
I don't know how to go. Give him more time, sure. You guys can, but do I think,
More time than the 6, 7 years he's gotten
who
already?
are they going to get that's going to make him,
Hey, brother. Hey, brother. That's not for us to decide. It's not for us to decide.
He has done well. Has it been longer than expected? Yes. But overall, he's done all right. But they need to start winning something. They really do. And if they lose this year, it's just going to have a really bad look. I've told you this off air a while ago. If this Arsenal team were to compete when Liverpool and City were at their peaks a few years back, dude, they would get crushed, demolished. They would be sitting third place.
It's going to be 2013, 14, 2012 to like 2016 Arsenal. You guys are going to sit in 4th place like the good little boys you are. That's what you're going to do. Because this isn't a serious football. There's a reason why everyone keeps saying set piece FC, why I call them Stoke City. Call Arteta Thomas Porter, because they're playing like Stoke City from the early noughties up to 2012. Like, Arsenal fans, please, genuinely, how do you support and enjoy this brand of football? This is terrorism. This isn't fun. It's soul-sucking.
It's what we said earlier, Joey. It's not entertaining to watch, but if they win, they'll take it. And it's been 2 decades or over 2 decades now that they've won, so they'll take whatever they can get, which is fine. Can't blame them for that. Everybody has a certain period where they have a dry spell. However, when you see the online chat from a lot of Arsenal fans about how good they are and how good each of their players are, and they can get into any of these legendary teams spanning 10, 20 years ago, that blows my mind. 1, this team hasn't won anything yet. 2, they're not flawless. This isn't even better than the Invincible team. So to have players like Saka, Gabriel, Saliba, yes, they're very good. But to put them better than Madrid's starting team in the heyday.
They're not better than any of those players on those teams. Like, they're good, yes, and maybe, nostalgia. But no, to say Bukayo Saka is better than Gareth Bale is crazy, man. That's
Delusional.
Ludicrous to say. Then to say, oh, yeah, Gabriel gets into the most dominant AC Milan side of all time.
Not even close.
What Gabriel do you watch, man? Which one do you know? Because the one I know couldn't be able to tie Franco Baresi's shoes, let alone Maldini's. You say he gets into that side, no problem? Come on.
He might be the water boy.
He can he can put on Ancelotti's jacket for him. That's what he can do. How about that?
Light his cigar.
Don Carlo, yes, please. Can I get some minutes, Don Carlo? No, sit down, Gabriel. Okay.
Last thing I want to mention was, did you see Ahmad's message to that supporter?
Dude, the head loss. Dude, Arsenal fans are bringing up his dead mother.
What? Okay, I didn't know that.
I'm not even... Dude, they're bringing up his dead mom. They're bringing up the fact that he was child trafficked.
No class.
Over man. Him saying they only score on set pieces. Dude, isn't that... That's mental illness, brother. That's not even a joke. That's mental illness right there. That's seriously fucked up shit to be doing.
Well, everybody's tough.
Messed up.
Everybody acts tough over the internet, right? Do it to their face. I mean, this kid's gone through a lot, and to be where he's at today is phenomenal. And everybody, myself included, I'm jealous. I wish I could be there. I wish I could be in his shoes playing. But it was a good clapback from Diallo to him. I mean, say your only hope's a corner, classic, but so true. He's not even lying.
And that's why they're mad, dude, because they know that's it. Like, they saw in that entire game, we relied on a corner and an own goal to maybe walk away with 8 points.
With the players that they have, it is disappointing that they can't generate from the field of play. Anything, really. People could say it's down to Gyökeres, but they're not even giving him service, so they're not even giving him a chance. I think they're just so used to playing without a traditional number 9 for so many years, they don't know how to use them.
Well, Gyökeres had that great chance to equalize in the United game, and he looked like me, dude. The goal was right here, and he just sent it,
Yeah. Well, hey,
which
look,
is, I mean,
he's gonna be low on confidence at this point.
he got bounced from Swansea City for a reason.
I'm not saying that he should be a Haaland. No, no, no. But he should be performing better than what he is. He should have more, especially coming out the season that he did. That even if you're not that great of a player, that confidence boost alone should be getting you more than what he has right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's not their savior. He's not that he was built to be, and he's going to damage the Portuguese league's reputation for a bit in terms of buying players out of there because I was bagging like 30 goals every season, and
I think it was 40 or 50 towards the end.
yeah,
I mean,
he doesn't even look like he knows how to kick a ball in the prem.
Darwin Nunez did better. I would argue much better. Not only was his numbers a little bit better, but just the presence.
He was like, yeah,
He
Nunes is a constant threat. Yorkis is a bystander.
is what it is, man. But
I missed Darwizzy.
But that's all we have time for today, guys. Thanks for joining us on Tiki Taka. We look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Have a good day.